Hello, and welcome to your Rochester Rundown for the week of July 16th. Let's get right to it. Family and friends are rallying around 5 children who were injured when a car slammed into their house Tuesday. The children, ages 2 to 13, were all taken to Strong Memorial Hospital after the vehicle drove right into the living room over on Thomas Street in Rochester. Most suffered minor injuries. The oldest son, however, has a lacerated liver and an infection. The oldest daughter, who we're told took most of the impact, has a fractured back, lacerated liver, broken rib, and internal bleeding. We spoke with the children's mother, Shannon Evans, who says she is focusing on her family and their future right now.
We haven't really talked too much about why or anything like that. I just tell them that, we're going to get through this, and I don't know. It's going to be a long road, though. I don't know if my kids will ever get over it.
The driver, 47-year-old Jawanda Chandler, has been charged with driving with ability impaired by drugs and third-degree aggravated unlicensed operation. She was not injured in this incident. A judge has signed 3 no-contact orders of protection barring Jenny Clark from contact with her children. Clark is charged with second-degree murder after a July 4th crash in Ogden that killed her husband, Matthew Clark. Investigators say Jenny Clark was drunk and speeding when she left the roadway and struck a utility pole. The felony complaint says Clark was arguing with her husband just before the crash and that one of Clark's daughters recorded the incident on her phone. Matthew Clark was pronounced dead at the scene. Their 3 daughters were uninjured. A Walworth town board member was arrested Thursday and charged with attempted criminal sex act. According to investigators, 57-year-old Carol Ambrose II used social media to try to meet a 14-year-old for sexual activity. Ambrose instead met an undercover Canandaigua City police detective who arrested him. Ambrose was released on an appearance ticket. He's scheduled to return to court on July 28th. Local school leaders are pressing New York State now to give them the COVID-19 guidance they need before school starts up again in September. The CDC's latest guidance drops the masking requirements for schools. Local school officials say they need to hear that directly from the state before they can implement it in our area. They also want to be able to plan in case the state requires districts to offer parents a remote learning option. The CDC's guidance is still advocating that 3-foot distancing, but that is not required for fully vaccinated students or staff. A small portion of local COVID-19 cases have been identified as Delta variants. The CDC estimates that the variant is now the dominant strain of the coronavirus in the U.S. It was first identified in India in December of 2020 and detected in the U.S. in March. Local health experts say the vaccine being used in the U.S. highly effective against this particular variant.
Fortunately, we're not seeing too much coming into the hospitals right now. And I think in large part that's because we've done pretty well vaccinating our most highly vulnerable, elderly and high-risk individuals. However, it shouldn't give us too much comfort because clearly the virus is here.
With just a 2% uptick in vaccinations in over a month, local health officials say demand for the COVID vaccine has greatly diminished in Monroe County. To combat this, local leaders are launching a new push to vaccinate underserved communities. Rochester Mayor Lovely Warren returned to work this week. Warren had been out of work since being admitted to the hospital for salmonella poisoning on July 5th. City officials tell us the mayor was released from the hospital Sunday. During her absence, Deputy Mayor James Smith acted on her behalf. Some state lawmakers are pushing back against adding ChickfilA restaurants to Thruway rest stops. It's one of several restaurants being added as part of the Thruway Authority's $450 million investment plan. That plan will see 27 Thruway service areas redeveloped and modernized over the next several years. Assemblyman Harry Bronson says Chick-fil-A has a long history of donating to groups that oppose same-sex marriage.
It's on state Thruway Authority property, and they're leasing it. So it's in essence the state saying we're gonna offer them an opportunity to earn millions and millions of dollars, even though we know what the history is.
The Thruway Authority also says no tax or toll dollars are involved in this deal. The City of Rochester is launching Rochester Community Power, a new program to move the energy supply towards renewable energy sourced through the state. Residents are enrolled in the program by default due to state guidelines. However, they can choose to opt out. The price will be fixed for 2 years starting in September. City leaders say the renewable energy will initially come mostly from hydropower. That's all for this week. As always, we'll see you next Friday.